Hi, thanks for sharing your story. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tiarne Shutt. I'm a Warramai woman from Foster, New South Wales, and I work at First Australians Capital. I work in investing directly into Indigenous entrepreneurs and shifting capital and power to Indigenous communities.
Excellent. So what does innovation mean to you?
Innovation for me comes back to principles and values. So to me, it is about being bold and brave to simplify, which sounds counterintuitive, but for me, the biggest innovations and the best innovations I've seen come from Indigenous people, and they're radically simple, but I think there is such opportunity for us as a society, as Australians, to go back to more simplistic ways of doing business, entrepreneurism, investment that actually will turn the dial against all the negative statistics that we talk about all the time, because I think we have a tendency to overcomplicate our problems or our solutions, which actually inhibits us from achieving it. So innovation for me is stripping back to how do we act with integrity and humility and with community, and how do we keep things simple, because I think for us right now where we are in time, we're craving for solutions, but we're overwhelmed with the problems. So if we can strip things back to core values and simplicity, I think we'll actually have a better chance of innovating and bringing ideas forward, because we're not trying to overcomplicate a system that's already complicated. So for me, innovation is simplicity, but it's also humility, because I think in innovation we tend to not listen to all the voices because we think we're right. So I think taking on from cultural principles of Indigenous people, thinking about humility, for me, and my elder said to me once, listening, the word listen has the same letters as silent, so that indication of how you should do it. So innovation for me is about simplicity and humility.
Fantastic. So what problem are you solving in 2022?
I'm solving economic self-determination for First Nations people, and particularly Indigenous women. So how do we as a society how do we remove the barriers facing First Nations people in business? What are the barriers that we've designed into our systems, and how can we just strip those out, bring it back to simplicity? What is essential for a finance process, and how can we provide the right support for Indigenous businesses, and particularly women, because there's a different level of consideration that needs to be had there. But how can we strip out all the noise in finance, because there's a lot of noise, and deliver the right type of capital and the right type of support to Indigenous businesses?
Fantastic. So today we're at the Women's Investment Summit. Why did you feel that it was necessary that you just had to be here?
I think I stand on the shoulders of so many Indigenous women and entrepreneurs that, for me, if there's not Indigenous women in this space, then we're doing it wrong. I think for me, I feel a responsibility to my community to use my voice to champion and advocate for Indigenous women. So often we get only spoken about in the worst ways, deficit statistics, closing the gap. It's never in an opportunity mindset. It's never what would happen if we did this. It's always things are terrible. And that doesn't mean I'm negating or ignoring the situation. It just means that I think we need to have positive solution-focused dialogue where Indigenous women are at the centre. Indigenous women are the heart of our communities, and they hold most of the solutions. They just don't get given the space to give them. Because we have so many caring responsibilities. We have, there's different community situations, trauma, caring responsibilities. There's a lot going on in Indigenous communities at the moment. So I was really grateful to give the opportunity to come here, because like all women, Indigenous women, the first women of this land, if they're not a part of the conversation, then we're not doing it right.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing your story.